welcome to the Ramon Preston Show. Today is Monday, June the 24th, 2024. It's 6/24/24. And excuse a little bit of my hood vernacular, fo. We don't call it four, we say fo. But good afternoon, happy Millionaire Monday. I'm super excited because today we're going to be talking about how do you make money with a holding company. Please do me a quick favor. Put in the comments what city you're watching your boy from. If you're watching me on IG, unfortunately, I cannot see your comments in the chat on the screen in front of me because we're not streaming through our streaming service with IG. You're actually watching me through an iPhone, all right? But if you are on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, or X, you can actually type questions in the comments and I can see your questions in the chat in front of me. However, if you're watching from IG, if you have a question about holding companies, if you have a question about business, systems, processes, everything that we talk about here at Ramon Preston Enterprises, including real estate investing, feel free to leave the question in the comments and my team will circle back around and grab that comment, that question, and get it to me. With that being said, welcome to the Ramon Preston Show. If you don't know, now you know. My name is Ramon Preston and I do my best to show up live as much as I can. Most of the times it's around 12 o'clock noon Eastern Standard Time when I'm here in the office and I'm able to show up and pause whatever I'm doing and jump on a live. But I like to share information with you, okay? I am a preacherpreneur. For over 20 years, I've been a full-time preacherpreneur. That means I'm a pastor, preacher, and I am an entrepreneur and small business owner. And it has been my mission for over 20 years now to bring the marketplace together with ministry. Now, you might not be a person of faith. You might not be someone who's interested in church or ministry, nonprofit, community service. And guess what? That's fine. However, my assignment, my calling is to help entrepreneurs learn how to merge those two worlds together, primarily because most of the people that I work with are a part of the church. They are people of faith. That's the community that I've been a part of for over 20 years. So of course, my core base of clients and customers have been faith-based companies, faith-based organizations. It doesn't mean that I don't work with people who are not church people or Christians or people of faith. I work with people who want to do business. However, my core group of followers and clients and customers and students are people who go to church, who serve the church, who are people of faith, and they want to learn how to be successful. They want to bring their faith together with their finances. They want to merge ministry and business. So again, if you're not that person, you could still learn a lot from someone like me. But if you are a man or woman of faith and you want to understand how your faith should fuel your success personally, your success professionally, and your success financially, then I'm going to be one of your guys. I'm going to be somebody that you want to listen to because I'm doing it in real life, in real time, and every day of my life, I am making all the effort that I can to show you how to build a successful business so that you can be a blessing to your church, your family, your community, and to the world. So with that being said, welcome to the show. Today, I want to talk about how do you make money with a holding company. Now, if you don't know what a holding company is, your holding company is a parent company. So let's say that you have several business ideas or business operations. Well, one of those business ideas or operations should, in a perfect world, be a business that you're using as a parent company. It should be the main company. This is the concept that so many large organizations use, like Walton Enterprises would be considered the holding company of Walmart and Sam's Club. Bank of America is a form of a holding company. Merrill Lynch, Berkshire Hathaway, Amazon is actually a form of a holding company. So most of the major companies in the world today are conceptually holding companies because they're being used to hold other assets, other businesses. They're being used as the parent companies of other subsidiaries. And so this is a very important concept that I teach to my clients, to my community, to my students, because as small business owners, as entrepreneurs, I don't think we process and understand how difficult it can be to build a successful enterprise. And one of the reasons why we don't process that and clearly understand that is because we don't see the bigger picture. We might dream about the bigger picture, but we don't see the bigger picture. So I believe if you can see the bigger picture, if you can understand what the ultimate goal should be for an enterprise, and then if you reverse engineer that and come back to where you are today, working a job, trying to start a business on the side, or you're a full-time entrepreneur and you're trying to get your business up to where you're profitable, well, at least you know what the end goal is. At least you know what the bigger picture is. And so I like to start with explaining to people that how you set and structure your enterprise up in the beginning can weigh heavily on how you build it out. It at least incentivizes you to keep grinding and to keep going when you know you're building something that is going to outlive you and it's going to outlast you. So let's just assume you understand the basic concept of a holding company, okay? Let's just assume you understand that if this is you and you have several LLCs, or if you plan on having several LLCs, then let's just assume LLC number one is going to be used as your holding company. Okay, so there are many other business operations and ideas for products and services that you have. We're going to assume whatever those ideas are, whatever those operations are, whatever those things are that you want to sell and you want to do in your business, we're going to assume that you're going to put them in other LLCs, or they're going to be divisions that are operating under the umbrella of your parent company. So this is going to be the parent company here. The holding company is the parent company. I'm going to assume you understand that concept. And I think me explaining it, if you're a newbie, if you don't know anything about this, that can make sense. Okay? Now, just for the record, let's assume you have LLC number one, LLC number two, LLC number three, LLC number four. This is just an example that you have 4 different business ideas and you know that they need to be 4 different LLCs. When you understand the concept of the holding company, what you are essentially doing is you're structuring it in a way that simplifies your understanding, that helps you process how you run the day-to-day operations. And that's why you as an individual or your spouse, it could be both of you or a partner, you're standing on top of the first LLC and the first LLC is standing on top of all the other LLCs. So it synchronizes and simplifies that process, as opposed to someone who doesn't understand this concept. If they had 4 LLCs, and I see this all the time with people I work with, they will have 4 LLCs set up like this. So it will look different. So you'll have LLC 1, you're 2, 3, 4, and instead of them having one with 3 under it, they'll just have all 4 and they will be the one on top of all 4. Now, again, this may work for some people. That might work for you. I know a lot of people who just own LLCs, and when they start a new LLC number 5, they just start a new one and they just put themselves on top. So they own all the LLCs. But the bigger companies, the more successful companies, they don't structure their organizations like this where they as an individual or partners keep owning multiple LLCs. They're going to own one and then they're going to structure or stack those other ones under it. So let's just assume you understand that concept, right? Now, with that understanding, the question today is, how do you make money with that holding company? I get that question a lot. Well, how you make money with this holding company is going to have a lot to do to determine what game plan you put together when you structure this entity, meaning that you might have products that you're selling. Okay, one of these companies may be selling certain products. It could be an apparel company. You may have a service-based company where you are doing Turo, right? You have a trucking company. What are some of the other common ones? You're doing Airbnbs. A lot of these operations that I'm mentioning, or you are a digital marketer, or you are a virtual assistant, whatever the business is that you run, that may be operating in one of these LLCs here. So this LLC is the parent. It owns these companies, but how are you actually monetizing this company? Well, I'm going to use myself as an example because, again, when I first set up my holding company, which is Ramon Preston Enterprises LLC, I set it up with the understanding that I have to accumulate assets under my holding company. Okay, I have to accumulate assets because when I started Ramon Preston Enterprises LLC, I structured it as a holding company, but I don't market it as a holding company, if you understand what I'm saying. So there's a difference between how I structured my company and how I market my company. So the legal structure, the paperwork side is structured as a holding company. If you pull it up at the Secretary of State, it's a holding company. If you look at my operating agreement, it's a holding company. But that don't mean nothing when you're marketing. So the fact that if you market your company and say, oh, LLC number 1 is a holding company, Ramon Preston Enterprises is who cares? Don't nobody care because it's a holding company. That's the structure. I'm setting the structure up like that because I know what I want to build. But from a marketing perspective, I have other things that I need to introduce to the marketplace other than how am I selling a holding company? Other than me helping you put one together, I could sell that, but that's actually a service, right? So how am I making money off of this? Well, for me, in my holding company, I structured it as a holding company, but then I market it as a consulting company. I have a coaching program. I also have an educational program. I'm just showing you how, when I talk about accumulating assets, I'm referring to the intellectual assets that you have that you know you can make money from. So, for example, I know how to structure holding companies. I know how to set this type of entity structure up. I know how to file and form the paperwork. I know how to draft the operating agreements. I know how to properly package services and price services and package and price products. I'm pretty good at that. I know how to integrate the basic systems in a business, whether it's a sales system, a marketing system, administrative system, a financial system for your for your tracking of your activities. I know how to do that stuff. So that essentially gives me the ability to provide consulting services. So if you are a small business owner, or you a solopreneur, or you work a job and you want to start a side hustle, you could sit down with me and I can actually do some of these things for you. My company offers those services. What if you want to be a little more hands-on? So you want to come to workshops, you want to get educated, you want to have coaching sessions, you want to have my team work with you for an extended period of time. I have a coaching program. And I'm just showing you this so that you can understand, how are you making money using a holding company. I have an educational platform. So I have programs to teach you the basic fundamentals of financial literacy, creative tax strategies, creative real estate investing, how to implement systems and processes in your business. All these things that I talk about, I teach about. So guess what? Here are 3 different services that I can offer in my business. Now, can I take those 3 services and create separate LLCs? Of course I can. And at some point, I should, once it grows to a point that it justifies me creating another LLC. However, when I'm on the come up, when I'm just getting started, and I'm an example of that, I don't have to separate these 3 services into separate LLCs. All I need to do is to take my consulting services, my coaching services, my educational courses, and I can actually run them through my holding company as divisions. Or in other words, I can use them as aisles in a store. So when you walk in a store, let's say you walk into the supermarket, right? Okay, the average supermarket has maybe 50 or 60,000 SKUs. They have 25 aisles, and they have about 55 to 60,000 SKUs, or different products and services that they offer, right? Okay, all those products on those aisles are not separate entities, are they? So when you go to aisle 2 to buy bread, you're not buying bread from a bread selling LLC. Or when you go to the milk aisle to buy milk, you're not buying milk from the milk company LLC. It may be different brands, but you're buying it from the supermarket that's selling it. It's just the product that they have on that aisle. So a lot of times when you're on the come up, you're using these type of intellectual assets. These are not physical properties or equipment that are risky. You can actually use them as divisions or aisles under your holding company to start monetizing or making money with that entity. Now, some may say, okay, but aren't you exposing your holding company to liability? Yeah, that's what insurance is for. That's why you get umbrella insurance, liability insurance. That's why you get professional insurance to insure what you tell people as a coach. You just insure it because, again, at some point, once these services start taking a life of their own, it's just as simple as you moving it from a division and creating a separate consulting company or coaching company or educational company. It's just as simple as that. And I've done this, so I know it works. And not only have I done it and I do it, I have attorneys, tax strategists that work with me to ensure that what I'm doing is guarded and it's protected while I grow my enterprise. But while I'm growing my enterprise, I'm actually making money and monetizing. So that's one way. So this is all intellectual. Now, because I do have consulting, coaching, and education, that means I have what? I have what we call IP. You know what IP is? IP is intellectual property. So that means I have information that I can copyright. I have information or certain ways of doing business in these areas that I can license. So now, guess what I've done? I have books. I have workbooks. Let me give you an example. I got a workbook over here just to show you all of these. These are workbooks. I have workshops, but these are workbooks. I could easily turn them into books, but these are all workbooks that, oh, guess what? I can copyright them. I have educational programs that are 95% digital on my digital platform. Hundreds and hundreds of training videos and courses and documents and forms on everything. Holding companies, tax strategies, real estate investing, and the list goes on and on. I'm bringing it up to show you that I can license this, in which I do. I have a licensing program. So that means people can pay a certain dollar amount and they could use these courses, these workbooks. They can make money off of my online courses, similar to affiliate marketing. We just call it licensing because they have a legal license or a right to make money and to white label my intellectual property. So all of this money that's coming in from books, from Kindle publishing, we have books on Amazon, all that's helping to monetize. And I'm accumulating assets at the same time. I'm showing y'all like the way you start making money with a holding company. Now, of course, this is just some basic examples using intellectual property. But what are some other ways you can make money using a holding company? Well, you can make money from management fees. You can make money from management fees. So again, if this is you and you have a holding company and then you have another LLC that's making money, the holding company can actually get paid from this company that it owns because it can be paid a management fee for managing the day-to-day operations of this entity. That's another way, all right? And of course, if you have other subsidiaries that are making money, the holding company is essentially making money because it's the parent company. So one of my subsidiaries, it makes money. I have a real estate investment company. So it makes money investing in real estate. So when it makes money investing in real estate, that money is pushed up to this company that now has capital to invest in other businesses or other things that continues to keep it growing. So I hope I'm explaining to you ways that you make money using a holding company. Of course, I would start out with working on developing your IP, accumulating assets like copyrights, trademarks, but you need to be working on things that you know can be monetized. So if you have a whole lot of trademarks, but your trademarks can't really monetize or make you money, you know, it's good to have them, but can I make money off of them? So I have trademarks, but again, I can make money off of my trademarks because how I package those trademarks. I package those trademarks in the form of other business operations that are being marketed for products and services that we offer, or licensing. So there are many ways you can make money using a holding company. We mentioned the consulting, the coaching, the education. If that's not the thing that you're in, well, just take whatever you do as a service provider or as a product seller and look at what assets you have in those businesses and what can those assets produce that your holding company can own. Because remember, my holding company, even though it's making money off of certain intellectual services like consulting, coaching, and education and licensing and copyrights, but it's also the owner of those assets. It owns the trademark. It owns the copyright. It owns the publishing. It owns the license. And because it owns it, if there's another business operation that I start that can make money, I can license certain things to that next business, whether it's mine or not. You can make money in your holding company through partnerships, okay? So we're talking about management fees, we're talking about intellectual property, the accumulation of these assets, but we haven't even touched on how you can make money from acquisitions. This is something that I'm currently working on right now. I'm working on developing a formula. And I'm not really saying a formula because there are already formulas, but a better way of saying it, I'm currently working on integrating success formulas and systems for acquiring other businesses under my holding company. So that means my holding company, when I find a business that I can acquire, my holding company can own that new business. It's either going to own that current LLC that we buy, or it's going to own a new LLC that we create to transfer that business operation into, which has its own database. It has its own trademarks or potential for trademarks, logos, marketing lists, sales CRM, products, services, inventory, IP, all over again. That's why I always encourage entrepreneurs that I work with, when you're just getting started and you're building an enterprise from the ground up, once you get your holding company set up, you need to start thinking, what intellectual assets do I have? That's what you need to start thinking about. And you need to start looking at other assets that you personally own that you can transfer the ownership to your holding company so that your holding company can start building an asset and a net worth. That's very, very critical. So I would love to get some feedback from all of you who are watching. This was kind of like a little, 30-minute, 27-minute cram course, or maybe 25-minute cram course on like, how am I making money with a holding company? Again, you're going to make money if you create consulting services. And you might be thinking, like, I'm not a consultant. Well, to a certain extent, if you build a business, I don't care if it's a shoe shining business. You could take that shoe shining business and you could start breaking that business up, looking at the intellectual assets of what you do as a shoe shiner, or what you do as a nail tech, or what you do as a tree trimmer, or what you do as a car detailer, or what you do as a digital marketer. Most people don't think about this, and all of what I'm talking about comes down to concepts that you are responsible to conceptualize. You're responsible to conceptualize that. If you just get stuck as a laborer in your business or an operator of a small business, and even just a CEO running your own company, if you get stuck in those areas, let's say, for example, if you got a business and you become the solopreneur, you're a laborer, or you hire a few VAs or a personal assistant, you become the operator, or you start building a little momentum and you become the CEO. If you get stuck in those levels or layers of your business, I'm going to be the first one to tell you, that's your fault. That's your fault if you become stuck doing all this work in your business or on your business. Because at some point, if you want to grow, you got to get out of just working in your business, and you got to really get out of just working on your business. You got to start working beyond your business, and that's where becoming an asset-minded person or asset manager who stands at the top of another company and who runs this company, because I still might have to be the laborer while I'm on the come up. I might still have to be the operator while I'm on the come up. I'm gonna still be the CEO. Like, we got a small team here. It's a team of 5 of us that work full time for my company. But guess what? To some extent, I'm still the laborer. Okay? I'll still jump in my car and go look at a property. I'll still get on the phone and consult somebody. I'm going to still show up and teach the workshop. Whatever I'm going to do, I'm going to still do it. I'll still log on and check the Secretary of State. I don't mind. The operator, I'll still be the operator. I'll still be the CEO. But while I'm being those things to this business operation, I'm also looking out as an asset manager to determine what assets do I need to accumulate that either I own over here in my personal life or assets that I have in my current business operation that I'm not utilizing, that I'm not maximizing. I have to look at that and I have to start pulling those assets in to figure out what can I make money on? What can I monetize? Can I monetize anything that I got going on other than the product that I'm selling? If I'm selling a product, one product, okay, I know I can make money selling that product, but I want to look at that product and figure out, can I make money doing anything else with this? Can I sell the idea of the product in a course? Can I help other people sell this product? What can I do? I want to monetize those things and I want to accumulate those assets. And then at some point, I want to acquire, I'm going to use acquisition. I'm going to acquire other assets through businesses or real estate or things that I know I can make money off of. And at that point, I become the asset manager. And now I don't have to necessarily be stuck being the CEO, the operator, or the laborer. I'm the asset manager, and all I'm doing is accumulating assets, acquiring new assets, underwriting those types of transactions, and maintaining an operation to make sure that all of these other operations are running effectively and efficiently. So hopefully that didn't overwhelm you. But if you have any questions, feel free to put the questions in the comments. Of course, if you are watching us through any streaming service, inside of the description, you're going to see a couple links to some resources we're offering you. And you're going to also see a number that you can text the word strategy to. We'll be more than happy to extend to you a strategy call for a few moments. If you have a question or two that you just need some information about your holding company or something that you're working on, just get the number out of the description, text the word strategy. When you text strategy, you're telling my team that you watched the show and you're taking me up on the offer. We also have inside of that description a link to a free business coaching assessment workbook. It's a 17-page workbook. It's a paper workbook, but it's digital. You can download it or print it out, however you want to do it. And it walks you through a self-assessment so that you can start understanding and conceptualizing a lot of the things that I'm talking about. And while you're going through the workbook, you might want to highlight things that you don't understand. And then once you go through the workbook, feel free to reach out to me and my team. We're all ready and eager and available to help you get your business to the next level. So you can take advantage of that free opportunity to download that workbook absolutely free. And you can reach out to us for a strategy call if you have any questions. So I appreciate you all joining us today. Thank you. Thank you for always supporting what we're doing. We don't talk as much as I need to talk about the real estate investing that we're doing and the way that we are helping a lot of people, at least here in Metro Atlanta. But we'll make sure that we carve out 1 or 2 days throughout the week to talk specifically about real estate, the creative real estate that we're doing, the way we are strategically helping a lot of people in our investment company. On both ends. We're helping investors who want to get into real estate to show them how to do it. We're helping people who don't want to be the investor, but they may want to be private money lenders. We're helping them. And we're helping homeowners and future homeowners. So we'll talk about that another time. For now, hopefully you learned how to make money through a holding company. There's so many other ways. We have so many resources. Just click the link in the description. Download the free workbook while you're on our university platform, Ramon Preston University. Take a look at the courses and programs that we have. All right, so I love y'all, appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for joining the show. And hopefully, as long as I'm here in the office and I'm not in an appointment, in a coaching session, or on my way to a property or something, we'll be back here, same place, same time, 12 o'clock noon Eastern, right here on the Ramon Preston Show. Have an amazing rest of this Millionaire Monday. I'll see you